Um, Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Once again, happy New Year to everyone. And then happy new month of February 2024, and as well as the Black History Month, February. Quick one. This is our open mic sessions, our week monthly support call, which we have every first Saturday of the month. So here we share tips and tricks, within that ServiceNow ecosystem, within IT generally, especially for the Pan-African and ServiceNow community. Today we have our practitioners share their journey. Just a heads up, Vivian had a family emergency, so she is unable to join us, but we have Kayode, who's here early, who's going to go ahead and um, kick us and then take us through. So we'll get to meet him and then learn, a thing or two from him on the journey. Um, so, Kara, the floor is yours. So we'll go ahead and start, with our question set. And then don't forget, you are more than welcome to use the chat feature to ask your questions while we take the questions that we have to get also on the way. So Kara can, answer those questions as we get them in the chat. So you can also use the reaction feature, to get us your thumbs up or your likes, so that way we know. But just as a heads up, the first question we have is a bit about yourself. So Kaya, the floor is yours. So go ahead and give us a high-level summary, so that we can continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Nemeka. I appreciate that. Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys may be. And for those I've not met before, nice meeting you. So my name is Coyote Oyibade. I'm a ServiceNow professional for the past 5 years. So in my day-to-day, I've worked in several organizations and I've had several trainings thanks to my boss in Nemeka, who was my pathfinder into this actual field from get-go. Because you know I don't really know how to do this, introduce myself, but what I'm gonna say is like I've been in service now for 5 years. I've worked in multiple organizations, and in my learning processes and my trying to improve myself, I've tried to do lots of things which from time to time I have been wrong at or I've been good at, and I've always had guidance from my mentors in this within the ecosystem. And for me, it's a journey that is just evolving. And I want to keep evolving with it with the latest trends, with the latest techniques, and the latest learnings. And I'm a good listener and I love to learn. That's who I am. And I also I'm somebody that is very reserved in certain areas and I'm very outspoken in certain areas. And I don't like to assume things if I don't know them. I try to ask questions. So that's just a brief overview about me myself. Concerning my professional career, I've had like in actual sense, I've had like 3 years of working experience, working for different companies from Infosys to Deloitte, from Deloitte to Navisite to RK Solutions currently. And over the years, I've learned a thing or two about those companies and their work ethics and how they actually improve. So maybe down during that discussion, I can pinpoint areas where certain companies helped in my improving my skills, and where certain companies was not a good start for me, and things I learned along the way and things I'm willing to learn. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Awesome. Thank you, Kaya. That's a good one. Um, and then we do have what you do outside of work to rest and recharge, because there are no questions in the chat. We do have what you do outside of work to rest and recharge.
Well, for me, what I do outside of work to rest or recharge, though I find myself currently switching activities. I used to go for like a volleyball run before. Then I had a bad knee, so I don't do that no more. So now what I do mostly is like try to catch up on my doctor's prescription of at least walk 3 hours a week. That's one of the things I do. So I try to walk more over the weekend and try to watch. I used to watch soccer, but I used to be a Man U fan, so it's not giving me joy anymore. So I don't do that too often anymore. And what I do when my spare time mostly is that I try to catch up on learning short courses. And Nnameka has been wonderful in that aspect. Like he sends you short courses and he follows up on you. Have you seen this? Have you seen that? So that's usually what I do. And I binge watch series maybe on weekend. I just binge watch maybe like it's a 4 episode, 6 episode. I just binge watch just to free my head from the actual, you know, service now, learning and all this kind of atmosphere, just to think of something abstract to refresh my brain. And recently I joined a group that was like is more like how would I put it? Is a therapeutic group where you call old people, you talk to them and for like maybe like 10 minutes or 20 minutes as whatever like time you get. So that has really helped me to look at life in a different perspective, looking at it from a young age to an old age, getting perspectives from older people and trying to learn what are the things or what mistakes you should try to avoid. Though we all learn from our mistakes, but so I'm doing using that as a session for myself and also trying to help people. So that's really like giving me joy. I do it like maybe 30 minutes in a week. So it's really something I'm really proud of, and yeah, it's really recharging me, give me focus, give me direction, making me think of things practically and not like on based on projections. So that's one part that I'm really into getting a deep dive about life, about learning, and about way to do things, how to treat people. It's just like me myself trying to give service, and at the same time, I'm re-engineering myself, trying to optimize myself, trying to do better as my time goes on in life, and try to impact as much as I can on the younger generations that are coming behind, and try to guide them in a particular way. Let them see the practical picture of the world, not a social media perspective of the world as it is right now. So those things give me joy talking to young people, talking to old people, like, you know, talking to both sides of the world. It really helps me clear my head and gives me like a clear focus of okay, what are you going to do? Because I can be discombobulated a whole lot of times. I have to reach out to people. Like Emeka is my I'm sorry, Emeka. I'm thank you for bearing my unnecessary questions for every time. So when I get confused, I try to run to my subject matter experts that I know in the industry to ask questions. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? How do you think I should proceed? Even though I don't get it right from the way they say it, with time, with evolution, with practicing and putting some time in, trying to learn, trying to do as they say, I became better and better. So majorly that's it for me. Talking to people, interfacing and all that gives me like a different perspective aside from the service now ecosystem, which is like a forest, you can easily get lost
Good
in it.
deal, good deal. I love it. Good deal. Volunteering, as much as you're giving out to, older people, you're also receiving. You're as much as you're there, giving out of yourself, right? Giving off of yourself, you're also getting back. That perspective, clearing the head or clearing the air, so that way you can see a different picture in life. It's really great. It's really great. I like that, especially and then helping to mentor the next generation because. I know they will say we are kind of like older, but the whole idea is um the outlook in life now is a little different. It's more social media, so people kind of like get consumed in it. So yeah, being able to let them know that there's a lot of life out there or practicality so that they see Life can be difficult, but how are you able to stand up? How can you build staying power or that muscle? Because right, you're gonna experience different challenges or different opportunities. Is how you now respond to them. Is it growth? You take it as that opportunity, or you feel defeated to stay there. So great one. I kudos to that. It's always good. So Babasi has a question. He says, "What type of company do you think will be fine for starters? What type of
Wow.
company?"
I think Obasi has like a predictive intelligence kind of thing because I was planning to share that. So
Babasi, you are the oracle now, telling us 2024 with Gen AI. Good deal,
I
good
will
deal.
give I will give
Thank you,
you a
Kayode.
practical I will give you a practical example using my experience.
Okay.
So when I got into the ServiceNow ecosystem, fresh after too much reading, not practicalizing, when I got my first job, it was for a consulting firm. Maybe I can mention the name here since we the names is the same. Same. I got into Infosys. I was eager to go, but when I got there, it was a different culture. It was like you are employed and you are looking for a job within the environment. If you understand what I'm trying to say, you have to start reaching out to PM leads, or you have to start sending your resume within the organization to different people that are you are available, you are this. Okay, send me your resume. How many years of experience do you have? It's like I'm reinventing the recruitment cycle within an organization. And if that was not too bad, but the fact was that I was not getting practical knowledge. I was not on projects for so many times. Times we were on project will be like short-lived project. Maybe you're on a project for like 2 months, you're out. You'll be on the bench for the next 30 days, 45 days, you get another one. So in that perspective, I did not really, really learn as much as I wanted to. Because there were even times where like, they employ you for this particular role. That's your role. They say, okay, you're a technology analyst, blah, blah, blah. So in their own world, being a technology analyst means they can flung you anywhere. I've had situations where I was flung to be a developer. So I had to run to my oracle, like you guess, in the Mecca. So it was like, okay, you have to do it this way, do it this way. So it was not something like I really knew how to do. But what I learned from him, what I go online and read, I try to like adjust and adjust. And because Infosys was like a MSP consulting firm, they were having different kind of clients. Their contracts were not really like if there are some people in Infosys that have like a permanent kind of contract. So they have like long-term contracts. So you're on the job for a long term. Maybe I was not lucky to get that kind of contract while there, but for me, I didn't learn enough at Infosys. There was times there was supposed to be an agent workspace. They brought me in. Okay. So it so happened that the initial team were the one that built the ITSM, the front end, everything. So we were just supposed to be the agent workspace. And the my colleagues then they did not really know how to build agent workspace. Even me, I've not built agent workspace before. Only that because I've read a lot about it in the past before I got that assignment, I was able to walk around, try to create lists on the configurable workspace, create lists, do the whole multi-tool, many kind of announcement banners and stuff. But what I'm trying to say is like, if you are trying to get into a company, don't start with a consulting firm. Don't start with a consulting firm. Start with a maybe like a organization that actually uses that service day to day. Because with that, you can start doing research. Maybe there's a new task, there's something they want to try to implement. You try to look at it and you try to, there was one incident that happened where I was with Infosys on a contract for FPL, Florida Power Lines, I think. And our team lead, engagement manager, was talking about they have issues with their service catalogs that they've had like over 20 tickets, people getting lost in their service catalogs, not knowing where to find something. and he was asking that is there anybody that can volunteer their bandwidth. I was like, yeah, it's something I can look at. I think that was my major high point in working there. Aside that, I don't think consulting is a good start. Go to an organization that is using the service day to day, and you get better with reading, with implementing, because you have an organization as a guinea pig. So that for me, that is so just an organization, not an MSP. For starters, if you're a newbie, don't. It will just take you everywhere. It will scatter you, take you north, take you south. You won't be like you won't be focused. You won't know what you want to do, which makes you like a generalist or like a not even a generalist, or like still like a recruit being thrown from infantry to infantry, not getting the base of each department. So for me, consulting organization that use it day to day, yes.
Right, right. So that's the thing here, right? But that's your own point of view, which is good, right? But the truth is this: if you get a customer, right? The customer means the organization that is using it. You're tied to whatever model they have. So you would only know one thing, but yes, you are going to specialize on it, right? So that's where that comes in. So if it's an ITSM, which is IT service management, or HR service, or asset management, or knowledge management, you'll be tied to that particular thing. That's the point of working for a customer, right? But if you work for consulting, yes, it has its own, you know, what they call um, craziness, because the way consulting is structured is you're going to be a generalizing specialist, or what we call a specialist in many models. Um, it's going to really help you because you would be experienced in a lot of things in the platform. So, for example, you would be able to have some downtime to study or pick up on maybe areas you like. So
Yeah.
certifications, you would have time to do those.
Yes.
It will expose you to a lot of things in the platform. So like a consulting firm, the only downside, like you talked about, is having to apply for a job, especially if you don't have a long-term contract. But the exposure it does, okay, every 6 months or every 3 months, you would be on a new project, and that's a good thing because you're learning something new. So, but it all depends on the individual strengths. But
Well,
that is also
my
go ahead.
individual. Sorry to cut you short, America. My individual experience, I did
Mhm.
not like. I I was always voicing things out to you. I did not like my individual experience. Not like if they give me a job, like no, we all know that everybody goes to do research when you have a task to complete, so that you
True
don't
that.
feel like you bamboozle your way through the door and all that. But from my own experience, I didn't really like it. I love the fact that I was learning, but there was not the chance for me to like practicalize. And the one thing that is bad about IT technology is if you have learned something and you don't really work on it in the next 3 months, trust me, you won't remember 90% of it. You just
True
remember,
that.
oh, this is this. But going down into the intricacies, how to do things, how to you know. So that's my own personal opinion, though. If the organization is
True, true, true.
if the organization is just focused on ITSM, ITSM is big. You can be on incident management. You can be on problem. You can be on service desk consulting. You can be on lots of models within the ITSM that you can actually be jumping around for. So unlike when you're in one company, 1 minute you are doing HRSD, the next assignment you get, you're a developer. The next assignment you get, they're sending you to CSM or to GRC audit. So it doesn't like build a layer for you to grow. I'm just saying this from starting point of view. But if you're in a focused environment, if you're in ITSM, you know you're the king of ITSM. With that, you can decide, okay, what do I want to do next? You put up a challenge bar for yourself. You increase your challenge bar as it goes. So I'm just speaking for a personal point of view, though. So it might not really
True
count.
that. True that. Good deal. Good deal. I like that. Good deal. Uh, Obviously, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It says. So which area do you would you recommend for those getting in into the IT industry? That would be easy. They can grow in. Which
When
area?
Well, that question is like an Atlantic Ocean, or which is the largest ocean? Indian? I don't know. It's vague. It's a very big question. IT industry, like we know, it has several. Unless you want to narrow down to ServiceNow platform itself, I will say if you want to get into ServiceNow now, I don't know what your skill level is. I will say start from ITSM, go straight to development. So with that,
Great
with
deal.
the knowledge of
Great deal.
ITSM, you can easily learn other modules down the line. And with that, and if you want to be a developer, which will always bring you choices, will throw you around different models, because I see some job adverts that we're asking for developer in CSM. All you have to do is just understand the CSM, what the functionalities are, what is useful. But with that core skill of a developer, being able to write code, being able to do all what a developer does from day to day, you fit in seamlessly. So that's just my take. If you just start from ITSM, if it's development, go for it. And if you're a business analyst, well, welcome to the world of reading a whole lot of things that you have to pretend you understand until you get on the job.
Good deal. Good deal. So that's the truth. Most applications, right, in IT, their most robust or well-developed area is service management. So that's IT service, which is the back office. How is IT supporting the business? So it's the most mature, the most robust of most IT tools or technologies out there. So if you start from there, you can't go wrong. So next to that is customer service management, right? That's meaning their external customers, managing
Mhm.
their external customers. Then you talk of their internal customers. That's the HR service delivery. But like I always would say is these areas companies must focus really big on them. But if you start with ITSM, you'll be good. And you always have something to do because, like Coyote said, ITSM is broad. There's a lot of applications there, a lot. And those applications, if you go to a good company that is has a great um, IT shop or IT department, they could split it, for example, to pods. So, for example, in my last engagement, um, we had over 12 or 15 teams. That's excluding special projects, which like I came in one vessel, provided support for about 3 work streams. So like 3, 4 teams. So that is really what it is, right? Helping out with incident, problem change, catalog, um, knowledge, different areas. You would do that, um, and then you get that opportunity because um, they will split these to different teams so that way you can fit in one area and then focus there. If it's big enough, if not, that's whole ITSM. It's those suite of capabilities. You'll be running helter skelter around those applications there. So it all depends
Mhm.
on which ones they are using, much more frequently. Then that's the one that will have, more downtime or more activity. And but yeah, if you don't have a lot of staff or resources to go around, that's really what will happen. But if they do split the teams, you'll be great. You'll be great. You just focus on your area, and then once it's not there, it's not there. Like I remember, if it's Novolo, it's Novolo. If it's HR, it's HR. If it's incident, it's incident. Something like that. So each one is focused on that area. But if you do that, with ITSM, you can't miss it. You can't miss it.
Yeah,
You
you can't
always
go
be
wrong. You
busy.
can't go wrong with ITSM. Even till
Yeah.
now, as much as I think I know ITSM, having a CIS in ITSM, I still find out that there are some processes that I've not really dived deep down into. Like I've not hit the bedrock of it.
Mm.
So if I have free bandwidth, I just, okay, you know what? Let me just try to look at it. So Nemeka sent something on the common group that we all are about the CSDM. Let me tell you the truth about CSDM. I understand it from the high level. Till now, I still don't understand it from that level. But because it's not my core job, all I have to do is just concern myself about the application services, the business services, the business layer, the CMDB, how you connect the application, set the relationships, and all the rest. So at times you get curious, or you get like, you want to learn something, you want to know something. It's like something like you feel like you really have to know it. So that's IT for you. You just get the unction, the yearning to like, okay, I want to know this thing. I want to understand this thing. So that brings us to the next question, which I think you might be asking down the line. How do you want to go? Subject matter expert, or generalist, or specialist? If I have my way, to be honest, I would love to be a specialist. But because I don't have my way, the economy and my needs is still controlling how I get jobs and how I apply for jobs. And my skill level right now is still between the beginner and the mature and the intermediate stage. But that is one part which I'm hoping in the nearest future I will get an organization that is going to make me grow into a particular space and become an SME. So basically, what I'm trying to say is like being an expert on something. Trust me, you never go wrong. You will never go if you are really really that good, like my Oga Nemeka now. You will never go wrong. He is a generalist, but a specialist at the same time because he does a lot of research, a lot of reading, trying to improve people's life. So with that, he too is learning, and he has more vast years of experience than I speaking here. But it is something that I really, really want to look into, get into a line. Like now, my one of my major yearnings is like healthcare. I'm trying to see how I can get into an healthcare setting. You know, try to see how the healthcare system works, because if you look at when it comes to job security and all that, it is one sector in the United States that is always secure. So I'm okay. I get into the health sector because most of the health companies now, they're either using ServiceNow, or they're using Epic, or they're using Radiant, or one other health informatics tool. So once you get into that kind of space, and there's always a turnaround of jobs. There's a whole lot of jobs. So for me, that's my projection, and I hope God's guide me, and I get to that projection and start to live a more stable life. Something. It's not like you are trying to live out of your brain 23 or 24 hours a day, trying to figure out something, running post to post, looking for solutions because you've said some things during the interview which is just lamba, like they say in our land, it's lamba. So that's my own take on it. But it all
Good.
depends on how you want to really go about your career. Maybe you want to jump around for the first 2 years, 3 years. Yeah, it's okay. But you should have a projection down the line, something that will be practical down the line. Thank you.
Awesome. Good deal. Good deal. Um, how do you stay up to date with technology trends? How do you
Well,
stay up to date with technology?
ah, well, let me just you guys might be thinking I'm calling Nemeka so much. Let me give you a brief history between you about me and Nemeka. I knew him in like in Nigeria. We had common friends. We're always around common friends. So I moved to the United States. My family has been here for a couple of years before I moved. So I was always wanting to go back into IT because back in Nigeria, I worked for a consulting firm, which was they did one of the first fintech apps in Nigeria then. It was called the No Limits Firm Consult with AppZone. So we're the one that developed like the skeleton of the business. This is how the business wants to do. We want to get money from the streets, from the common trader. We're trying to do like informal sector marketing, get money that was on the street into the banking system. So the bank liked the idea. We did all our research, everything. That is where I got my first business analysis, development manager kind of skill. So coming to the United States after that for a long while, I wanted to go to IT. I was in a class which one of our mentor in there, Mr. Suraj, was taking for because that was the only person I knew at that point. Okay, Mr. Suraj, okay, cybersecurity, okay, let's see what it goes. And in that class, he introduced the ServiceNow voucher. which was free that year. I think 2018 or 2019. It was like, it's free. If you can finish the service now course, this one, you can get the voucher. And then because I was a newbie in the United States, I had a lot of bandwidth of time on my hands. So I did it in less than 3 days or 2 days. And I told him I finished. And I said, it's not that is not possible that I must have finished. I said I finished. And I showed him the voucher. I was like, that he has some of his students who that I should help them. Blah blah. I said, no problem, I can help them. Because at that point I already knew what I have to skip to get the voucher. So I didn't have to like do everything really like I was trying to read for an exam. So with that, I did that and I got stuck. I like the platform. It was navigable. It's something that you know where something is, you can just go there, look for it, try to configure it, trying to do and all sorts. Then I now reached out to Indamec. I just saw the name on LinkedIn. Like, I know this guy now. I know this guy. I now reached out, and who I below, he welcomed me, paved my way, always checking up on me, and the rest is history, like they say. So here I am, and with Indamec, you don't have to go too far to learn new things now. Your WhatsApp will be telling you new things to learn every week. You can get like 4 or 5. Then you follow groups, you go follow some groups, you follow some channels on YouTube. Like the community itself, the ServiceNow community itself is a great place to learn stuff. So, and the internet age these days is very, very, very confusing. Just stick your head, focus, and look at what particular thing you want to learn or what particular things you want to learn within the time space to keep you abreast. Because trust me, once you are clicking this and there's one technology inside what you're reading, you want to click that link, it takes you to another page like that. Before you know, you have like 10 tabs open on your system. So to learn, you research, look at trending topics, look at what's hot in the market, what's getting higher demand, and try to look at it. Then you can learn that. Like when I learned CMDB, it was not like I was trying to get a CMDB job or I was just bored. I just saw CMDB. Okay. It was like the engine house of service now application. Okay, let me just read it. I just read it, did the micro certification, the simulator, bam, 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 and that was it. And it stayed and it's still there. I use it from time to time though. So for in terms of what to learn, it all depends on trends because IT is a trend. What you know last year might not be in vogue anymore. So just keep up with the trend. That's all. You just have to keep up with the trend.
Good deal, good deal. Joining communities just like this, sharing and then getting that information. ServiceNow community is there. Now learning is there. There's a host of stuff. There's tech now, there's academies, there's a lot of learning. But like you rightly said, if you do not focus, right, one click before you know you have 10 tabs ready. So then that means attention span. You have left the door, like you have unfinished business in 10 areas. So you just need to focus and say, okay, if it's 5 minutes, I want to put in this. I should put 5 minutes. Like the trainings is 2 hour video. Even if you say it's only 1 hour, you want to do, something like that. Just have your schedule or time. That time slot where you do what you need to do. That way. And then all of those notifications you're subscribing, and everything is on the internet. The only thing is that it can be what do you call it? Information
Mm.
overload, especially how you do it, depending
Overwhelming.
on how you do it.
Internet
Yeah,
is
but
overwhelming if you don't know where to go.
yeah, but it's all filters. If you do a search, continue to refine the search. It's also like Google. Google is a wonderful place. Once you Google, it gives you some pointers. Take a look. You might refine that query condition or the search criteria, and then until you get what you need, and you go open that one, and then you read through it, try to finish it. Sometimes it could give you also pointers to some other things, things like that. Or if you can make it a habit to check the first one, the first page, it doesn't make sense, you close
Okay.
that out,
Mhm.
go to the next, that kind of thing. It would really help. Yeah, but good one, good one. I think the other question is training and certification. What's your take before you give us our party words? Training and certification. What do you
Well,
think?
uh, trainings and certifications are very good, I can attest to that from having a job, not having a job, recruiters reaching out to you. Like on the average right now, because I'm trying to just try to get something else. On the average, I get like 15 calls every day, and most of it because recruiters they just use keywords to search. And once you come back from their keyword search and they look that you have this, it's a good thing. So the certifications puts you in front of the recruiters and it gets you an interview. But you have to be good in whatever thing you are training or certifying for. Like for me now, I failed my CED exam and then the has been on my head that this is what you don't do. Why should you fail this thing? So I have to look for a time bandwidth to try and do it again, maybe with a 2 weeks bandwidth to do it again. But training and certifications are good, and you have to be good when trying, because I've had a couple of interviews in my life where some recruiters will throw something to you that is off the scope of job you're applying for, because they've seen it on your resume or they've seen that you have this certification. So if you have this certification, you should understand what most of these things. Until there was one time I was trying to get a job, and the job was a service catalog manager. And the guy was asking me about major incident. Thank God, thank God, I've read major incident management, how to escalate it, how to make a major incident candidate, and the rest. So with that, I ran through it. It was good. He liked it. So you just have to be prepared, like Boy Scouts. You don't know where it's coming from. So certifications are good, and start from the base, then go up. If you want to specialize, you can go down the path of specialization with one certifications or two or three. But like Nemeka would say, you can have four, so you can be a generalist that can bring it from everywhere. But my own fear is that when you have too many, it makes your attention span or your withholding bandwidth of knowledge to thin out, to bear a low threshold, because there's no way you can be told three or four different specialties in one head. That's why you can't be a doctor and a lawyer at the same time. You have to be a genius.
Oh, good deal, good deal, good deal. So the truth is this, right? Most jobs, right? Most jobs right now, the certification, because me, it's a mix of both. Right? The certification gives you the foot in the door. Most jobs, the recruiters, they don't really know the technology. Except for a few who have actually worked, they were technologists before, then they now went to start up their firms and are doing that, recruitment process outsourcing. So they are doing it. So those will have some idea. And the idea is also limited to whatever tools or whatever area they were in. If they were developers, so it's development effort. If they are by analysis effort, things like that. But the core is this: the hiring manager too. He's now more administrative,
Mm-hmm.
so he's left the day-to-day workings of that Scrum team or development team, right? But he has requirements. So his team tells him that we are looking for a developer. These are the skill set, or these are the different responsibilities they would do. So these are the skill sets we need. So those certifications would get you the foot in the door, get you those interviews, because those certifications, they are keywords, they are buzzwords. So they've set them in those application tracking system or ATS. They've put that there. Your CISs, your CSAs, your CADs, whatever. Now the training, right, gives you that foundation. A training that has hands-on, because IT is not all theory all the time. So you go do this so those online trainings or sorry about that, those self trainings or whatever. You need that hands-on where you're doing those homeworks and making sure you're able to click around, do those tasks, right? Those are configurations. You're able to configure, right? Before you talk of customization, you're able to configure. Then a couple of customizations, maybe baseline or foundational, or intermediate, depending on as the case may be. That is kind of like giving you a firm foundation, so that even on the job or even speaking during interviews, they can't give you scenarios where you wouldn't be able to talk, because it's generally an ideal or default or baseline deployment. So it's enough use case for you. So you see it where the recruiters are just going through their list, and your name is getting searched, it's popping up. So they need to go and discuss with you and talk with you. But now the trainings now will make you that, confidence, because even if they give you an instance, which some of them too, when they say technical round, they could give you the environment. You're able to go and navigate, be comfortable, or at home or at ease around it. So it's very important. So that's where you have to mirror the two, um, um, so that you don't miss it. Great one, great one. I think as you also said, you talked of Epic. So Epic Healthcare. So how is it connected to service now?
Oh, great question. Epic is an EMR system, right? And most hospitals that I found out in my last gig with Navisite, like most hospitals, they have an ITSM suite they are using, and 85% of them are ServiceNow. So within Epic, they try to do like an integration with ServiceNow because of the ease of solving incident problems, blah blah blah, the ITSM shenanigan. So with that integration, they get to create tickets in Epic, which is sent to ServiceNow, to the front, to the desk, to the service desk, or to the managers, or to whoever based on assignment rules. So while at my last gig in Navisite, we were doing the project for one Brooklyn Health, and they had an Epic. They have already deployed Epic. They've done a big bang and everything. So I had the opportunity. I do have had the opportunity in the past, like my friends were saying, ah, come on, let's go and do it, come and do Epic, come and do Epic. You don't understand the IT. But me, I don't like doing something that is not a guarantee. I can be on a project for 6 weeks, or the next project will be for 2 weeks, or in 2 months' time I'm not on something. It's not like a guaranteed kind of workflow based on the way it is. But if you can find your way to get a hospital to sponsor you to go and learn Epic, is a no-brainer, is a jackpot for life. So for me, that is how I got to know about Epic and the integrations and the intricacies between Epic and ServiceNow. It's an health management system. Simple. So ServiceNow has a robust tool that can support hospitals. So the only choice they have is like once they deploy Epic, they always integrate it with ServiceNow to sync certain things, sync projects, sync what's going on, bedtime. They do like one Brooklyn Health. They were doing matrix for them to look at the number of bed turnovers, the number of nurses the number of the patients with particular ailments, the number of um, doctors they have to have on standby, all those kind of matrix that they just give you requirements and you start building. Okay, this is the report, this is what it is so far, this is where you want to get to. So with that, they work on that. So I'm just bringing Epic because it's something I loved when I was on that project. It was something I liked. It was a short project, maybe like 6 weeks, but it was cool. And it's something I'm looking forward to because if you get to work in a healthcare environment where maybe they are using Epic and they say, okay, we want to send our ServiceNow guy to go and understand the Epic system itself, it's a big jackpot. It's a big bonus. So that's why I added it to it. So that's why my focus is like that.
Good deal. Good deal. So, and that's the truth, right? A lot of times it's the integrations. It's health care. So what you got? Electronic health management, health
Management.
record management, EHRM. So Senna has it, right? Senna Epic, right?
Yes,
So the point is this: there will always be an integration to help the help desk. So it's going to be that service desk. So a lot of times the incident application. So it's going to, interface with that incident management. There would be that, it could be bidirectional, it could be unidirectional, but it would come in there. So yes, the experience still means that um, it's still up to you. So incidents is just one area. They could have other areas.
yeah, they have
So
a
they
lot of
could
areas.
build,
And
yeah,
the Epic,
custom applications too. So just but one of the areas is like Coyote said, incident, or that integration with incident, or ITSM suite. So yeah.
So and the Epic software is not is compared to like the learning curve, compared to like a service now. I don't think is like 25 or 35% of service now. In my own honest opinion, it's just click, 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 admit patients, what patients, measure the patients, write notes, all are templates that you're using, just like you have templates in service now. So so it's not like there's one big deal. That's why you can find anybody, you can just go and do an epic job, come back. But if it's something like you have in focus, yeah, it's not bad. So to be honest, if you can get someone or hospital, like I heard, it's just hospital that can only send you for the full training, but you can't send yourself. Unlike now, you can come to Nemeka and get training, go to service now, buy voucher, do exam, and go look for a job that can be paying you six figures and a stable job, compared to Epic that you can get a six-figure salary. You have to get contract, and from time to time, I don't know. For me, it's not. I'm not cut from that cloth, so that's why I did it once. I think I went to one, collected the money, free money, but I'm not cut from that cloth. That's why.
Good deal, good deal. I hope that answers your question, Obasi. But yeah, Epic is good. If you're working in that healthcare system, it. It's also an IT system, so it's helping to manage electronically your health, the health records and stuff. So
So let me ask
it's
about
very
one question. Why did you
good.
ask the question?
Um, actually, I work in a hospital and we use a pig.
Okay.
I try to say if I can leave the department I'm working right now to go towards maybe towards the different area that use more of the pigs. Because actually, I work in the pharmacy. We use it for certain things in the pharmacy area. In the nursing area, they have the different thing they use it for. But in other areas of they have a different place and they use it for
Yeah,
the
that's a wide
swelling in
range. You
different
have the
areas.
RX,
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, yeah.
So I just want
So
to know which area can work go into to be able to use it and be able to make some money.
yeah, but the epic thing, like I rightly mentioned, yeah, you're a pharmacy tech, right?
Yes.
So it depends. Even within pharmaceutical companies, they use ServiceNow and they use Epic. So it's that Epic certification, like unlike ServiceNow, like we rightly mentioned, that you can go and get. And ServiceNow is so robust. There's one company that has been toasting me for the past 4 days, but their deal is not good enough on site in Minnesota. So I'm not something that I would want to take or want to ask somebody to take. It's cold in Minnesota. It's like Canada cold. So I'm not caught from that place. I can't leave my kids to go and stay to relocate to Minnesota. So if it's something that you think you can with your farm tech, blah blah blah, you can just push yourself up, get some service now thingy on your resume. Before you know, they will ask you your pharmacy experience. Okay, where did you work at the pharmacy? What level did you work? So yeah, but I have a farm tech certificate too. So I think the recruiter saw it. That's why it was on my case. I should come to Minnesota. They want me on site. It's a pharmaceutical company. They want somebody that understands pharmaceutical from the grassroots, how to dispense, how to write orders. All that I can't go to Minnesota.
Okay.
Good
Thank
So
you.
deal. Good
we
deal.
should all learn. We should all have the skill. Well, maybe in America has not taught you. It has taught me. Me, I listen well and I learn. You should have the skill to interweave your skills. Try to weave your skills around what you have. What can you extend it to? What can you pick up to add to your skill bucket that can make you more productive or that can make you more resourceful, that you become, oh, okay, I need this. I didn't, because at one point, even when I was at Navisite, sorry to cut this story to digress a little bit. When I was at Navisite, my director, my so-called director, God bless his soul, he's not there, but he's alive, he's a dumbass. Everything they want to do, I was trying to streamline the way they did things, but I was always complaining to them. I was like a secretary, meeting notes, organized. So I was tired of it. I went to the VP. I told her. She said yes, but they have constraints, as in on the way they do things. That's why I was saying that MSPs, some MSPs are good, some are not. Not all consulting is bad, but some are good and some don't really give you that bandwidth. So it depends on how you see it. But for me, my part right now, healthcare, if I get to that healthcare door, I will look for that door. I want somebody within that healthcare system say, okay, you are a service now expert. We think we want to add to your skill. Go and learn Epic. Because Epic and ServiceNow, they're not going anywhere. That's the fact. Those two, they're not going anywhere. So if you have those two, you don't have enough America with that.
Good deal. Good deal. And that's the truth. The truth is healthcare is big business. And then if you're able to get into the IT space, most companies are using it. The first time I started out with ServiceNow, I was an end user. The company at first we are using Siebel CRM, so that's customer relations. Then also I now moved in. We're using Salesforce, but even with these technologies, right, we still were using ServiceNow to request services or do stuff. So, and then that's before. So that exposure already to order laptops, mouse, all of those kind of peripheral things. So IT always, if the companies themselves, if you take a look, so deep down they're using whether it's ServiceNow, or they could be using other. I remember back in the day, some other companies to use what's it called, BMC Remedy, a
BMC
couple of other
Memory.
companies, so companies like that, they use those ITSM software. So if you can get into that team, sometimes when you come in already, they don't want you that transitioning. They are like they already have an idea of your pay grade or skill. So you having to transition now, it's to them they're doing you a favor. So that's why I said you have stayed there for what it's what. Your certification and learnings now, your skill set, use it and get a new opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who will pay you for the new skill set. So you
Mm-hmm.
have your PDI, you have the now learning, you have those certifications to prove. And that's why I say practice, practice, practice. So that once you get there, the difference now is that the company is being paid, you're paid to do it. You should be fine. The only thing is if you're waiting to get it's not all it's not, you can't discount that, it's not in all cases. But if you're waiting for them to maybe you were taking like 60,000, now you want to be taking 100, 120, it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. So that's just the point. Because
And to
they
buttress
will give
Emeka's
you.
point, to buttress your point, Emeka, it's not only ITSN that most of these hospitals use.
Yeah, they use a lot of stuff. I
They
said
use a
they
lot
use
of
a lot
stuff.
of stuff.
I was
They use
surprised
that's
in
what I'm
one
saying.
in one Brooklyn Health, they were using ITAM,
Yeah.
SPM, and they were doing their own HRSD, though it's not
Correct.
robust, but they were using HRSD. Like they were trying to
Right.
streamline everything through one platform.
Mhm.
And it was, trust me. So that's why I knew that healthcare, I think, is my next target. But you can't control who employs you right now. But that's my target going forward.
Good deal. Good deal. It's very, very, very good. That's just the truth. The whole honest about it. Healthcare is big business. Like every business, there would always be an IT department, no matter how small the place is. There will always be an IT department, and then the IT department will be doing tons of stuff for to how to try to support the business, even the ones you can't even imagine, whether it's from car rental to hotel management. They all have IT departments, and you can imagine the healthcare systems. The IT department itself, even just managing Epic or Senna or ServiceNow or whichever their tools are. A lot of them, even my last engagement, we had whether it's ServiceNow, we still had Epic, we still had a couple of other things, as in different technology, even AWS. So cloud. So there you can't go wrong. You cannot. You cannot. The only thing is you just need to make sure that you have that your training and you get those certifications, up your game. Get with that um, your experience in the healthcare, a healthcare IT company or someone else will snag you up in the market and get you in. those certificates, you're not going to throw them away. That knowledge is there for life,
Right.
except you keep it, for it to, be docile. But other than that, it's yours for life. It don't go away, and those experiences should help you get your next opportunity. It should help you. So, great question. I like that. Great engagement. So we are done past the hour, but like we said, it's just a heart to heart, just to get to meet our practitioner. They share their journey, their learnings, and then how they stay updated. It's once a month, beginning of the month. So we get our practitioners to come and ask questions alongside our question template. So practitioners will as best they can with their experience, answer those questions that we have. So it's going to always be first Saturday of the month, 11 Central, which is 12 Eastern to 1. It's all WebEx. You get the invite. It's for both the Pan African IT community as well as the ServiceNow African community. So, don't hesitate. As you come in. You can also be voting to come and share your experience. So it's not like it's only tied to only service now. No, we've had people do use different technologies, whether it's Kubernetes, whether it's Scrum masters. We've had project managers. We've had product owners. We've had different specialists. We've had analysts. We've had pretty much everybody within that Scrum team. But the whole idea is that we have our people doing ter- terrific stuff in the market. So if we can learn from them, especially for those that are, transitioning after training, looking at whether I'll leave that job and go to the next job. It could be like that, tasking at the beginning. Yes, you have to pay your bills, but with those new skill sets, especially with now, you should be able to get you a new opportunity and then transition, because everybody's in that, transition phase pretty much all the time. But great one, great one. So any parting words that you have for us, Kay, before we get out to go enjoy our Saturday?
Well, parting words: keep learning, pray, and hope. So when you keep learning, you learn new things. Though I know learning is hard. Let me not lie to you. I know it's hard. Learning is hard. What reading a novel is easy. Watching a movie is easy. But come and watch one 3 hour service now course. You want to sleep like 5 times. So learning is hard. Keep learning, hope, and put lots of prayers, because things happen. I had a case of a girl. She's barely a year into service now. When she was trying to find her way, I told her, this is what I'm doing right now. You might find a way, you might do this. So she went, she got some kind of, I would say junk training. It was really junk for her. And but funny enough, now she's in somewhere and she's earning pretty good. How she got it, I don't know. But I know if there's no other factor, it must be a God factor and a learning factor. So those two are the two things that you should hold tight: your learning factor and God. That's for me. Whatever you serve, fine. So that's just my own thing. You do that and try to stay up to date with things. And the recruitment phase, the looking for job phase, I know it can be like a dreadful phase. It's a dreadful phase. So, but it is what it is. You just have to stay there, hang on, and try to just get something for yourself and move on. So that's just my parting words. Keep learning, God, and try to stay healthy so the brain can be fresh. Do things that are positive to the body, to the mind. Avoid unnecessary gang, free unnecessary, what would I call them? Gangs, friends, WhatsApp, blah blah blah. Things that don't add value to you, because I believe that most of us here, we are adults, and most of us might be parents. So anything we're trying to look for right now, it has to be value add, and which a lot of things out here in our society right now. It's deviating, takes you away from your path. You get to see people, and just from my own point of view, you don't need most of those distractions. They take away too many valuable time. I didn't say that you shouldn't enjoy yourself. Oh, it's we can enjoy yourself. Me, I'm a jai, but I jai at my own time. I go out at my own time. If you tell me, okay, I have I know a lot of boys from Nigeria that plus or minus, most of them are in Houston. So I get a lot of, okay, they come. I won't go because I will look at what is the value am I going to get. Okay, I will go there. I will drink. And I'll start driving back home. What are the dangers of me drinking and driving back home? Even if it's 2 shots of brandy, you're driving back home. You don't know the next driver on the highway. Something happens. You don't know who will pull you over. So all those indices, I just try to, not like I don't do it, but I try to put it at the barest minimum and try to, balance life, live life wisely, and don't be too Nigerian.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So the truth is faith, family, and friends, and your community. I mean, don't sweat the small stuff. Life is easy. The only things that you need to, keep updating yourself so that you can always, be ready like this guy, be ready to the next opportunity, the next thing. Especially all this you're learning. You can't learn it and then keep it and then you're not interviewing. Looking for a job is a job in itself. So so you should be like hungry and trying to go and get get that knowledge. If it's that service now, go there and get the service now opportunity. You get that exposure right there and then you get your goings because you can't just keep it and then and then you're hoping that that other one will come through immediately like that. It wouldn't all the time, man. But yeah, but that's a good thing. The recording will come out in a couple of minutes once we are done here. I'll share it to the community, so you can always play it, especially for those that hopped in late. But yeah, the whole idea is it could be you next on coming to share your experience. So thank you everyone. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Bye everyone. Bye Obasi. Bye Ken. Bye Abdul. Bye.